You know, they used to have this process where you could go into a library and you could look at library books and you could cross reference. And I used to love doing that. Even if I didn't necessarily have the primary library of concern on my agenda of what to do. And I used to do this at the law library. One day I did something. See, I found some information that was published in publications that were for the banking and finance sector when I was born. And when I was looking through the microfilm, I noticed, wow, there were a lot of bonds that were issued around the time I was born that have very specific reference points that not only were very heavy and very much a part of what was going on at the time, but it seemed referenced periods of my life that had been going on ever since I was a child that I could remember. And some of these bonds had 7 year terms. Some of these bonds had 18 and 19-year terms. Some of them were longer. They had the names of these different finance companies, different houses. And I was like, wait a second, I've heard that name, but I didn't know it had to do with finance. When I first found this information, I wrote it down. I have it now. One thing I noticed is that there was this brokerage. It's a father and son brokerage based out of Chicago. And there was a very specific bond that they were brokers on. You know, ironic thing is, when I was teaching in another country, I was requested to be a tutor for a young girl who had the same family name. I didn't know this at the time. I ended up getting to know the family and had a very, very special relationship with that family. You see, in the way I come from and understand my own self is where I come from, her family was very much like my family, except my family was from the United States and her family was from another country. 3 generations of women had the same name. You know that? The daughter, the mother, and the grandmother, they had the same name. My father's a junior. Had I been actually born a son, I might have been the third. So I took it very personally when I returned, and everybody wanted to try to swap that specific surname out. I used to have a picture of me with her family on my birthday on my Facebook that somebody stole. You know, I cannot get the credit unions anymore to contact me since July of 2018, when I contacted the major credit unions and the credit bureaus in the United States. And I said, please put one of those 6-month reviews on my account because I understand somebody's using my identity right now in acts of money laundering. And now they just won't even provide me with a credit report at all. How dare you? TransUnion versus Ramirez. I think you were going for trip, weren't you? Is it better in Spanish? See, when I was in the library looking through those law books, what I saw is a 30-year period of cases involving the surname Ramirez. There were stages. There were certain associations that it would seem were laid down at specific periods. And then after a certain period of time, well, they'd flip. I got all the information I need. I warned you. I warned you. I made it formal. I did it on terms that would have acknowledged you as a professional. I guess I got you mixed up. I thought you were a different kind of professional. I don't think you're as good as you think you are. And I don't think any of your other very well dressed friends are as good as you wanted them to think you are. You've just started this, didn't you? You guys spent 35 years trafficking the wrong little girl for the wrong global gangsters.